Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stand Gamers, and welcome. So today, I'm playing a little bit of the Call of Duty beta, and you're probably wondering, Aaron, why the hell did you even decide to play this? It's going to be utter garbage, like the rest in the collection. Well, it was beta and it was a free thing on Steam, so I thought I'd give it a go. Give me a bloody break. Right, so my basic overview of this is it's very simple. Call of Duty, you need to know what it's about. It's a game that you come home from work and you go and blast a few guys and abuse them with some voice chat. Now, if you don't know that and you expect it to have some really fulfilling gameplay experience, then you're going to be wrong about it. And looking into anything more than running around with a Molotov cocktail in your hand and throwing it in someone's face, then it's definitely not the game for you. Don't expect any sort of replayability. It is shoot, shoot, shoot again, and destroy people. Now we've got that out of the way, let's actually have a look at what this is offering over previous titles. Number one, we've finally got our boots back on the ground, meaning you've not got bunny hopping space rocket pack dickheads banging around every corner of the map. You actually have to climb a ladder to access something. On top of that, the weapons. What weapons have we got? Now, the weapons acted really weird. Like, this is a dual barrel shotgun that I'm using at the moment, but it does less damage than the pump action shotgun, and that makes absolutely no sense. I've got less ammunition and I'm doing less damage. It's like firing rubber balls at someone. The upside though is it does have a rifle attachment for long range, but you do have to unlock that, and when you do get a shot with that, it is pretty positive feedback. But moving back to the overall experience, there was ups, there was downs. The positives of it was it felt gritty. A gritty shooter like Call of Duty 4, it's dirty, it's nasty, you're up in people's face, you're setting them on fire, there's people screaming, but there's a hell of a lot of downsides. Number one that just pisses me off more than anything is the characters all over the place are shouting out where you are. So a player might run past you, he might not even see you, but his character's going to shout, hey, there's a guy over near the boulder. And that will just completely ruin your stealthy, sneaky experience. Because if you play like me, you like to run around the corner of the maps. And Call of Duty is a game that I rarely boot up, for the pure reason that I know I'm going to get the same experience. And after a while, the novelty of that kind of wears off. Well, my tactic tends to involve running around the side of the map, and if I want to get some crazy action, then you're going to jump in the center. But staying around stealthy and sneaking through different passageways tends to be the way I like to play. So in my opinion, in any first-person shooter, the most important core element is the gunplay. How do them guns respond to being shot, and what sort of feedback do they give you? If they give you positive feedback that really immerses you and draws you into the gunplay, if they feel a little bit extracted from the combat, maybe nothing's happening with the weapon itself but apart from it firing laser beams, then it really draws you away from the weapon in hand and just lowers your overall experience. Now, in my opinion, the submachine guns suffered from this lowering of experience. They just didn't really immerse you in the experience, especially when you stuck a suppressor on. They felt very muted. I mean, you'd expect it obviously being muted because it's got a suppressor on, but I'm talking, it just feels like a laser beam in your hand, nothing really drawing you up towards that weapon. But on the other hand, you had things like the M1 Garand that reload and really felt like a battle rifle in your hand. Now, since I talked about the M1 Garand, the issue I had with that is you could add a box magazine to it. So basically turn it into an M14, a weapon that wasn't available until years and years later. Talking about wasn't available, what really upset me as well is some of the perks. Some of the perks are just things that are not real. They don't exist in this time frame. I mean, I know you've got to have perks, but they did it well enough before in the last Call of Duty World War II expansion, where they allowed you to have drum mags, some different muzzle flash devices, and some really basic type optics and sights. They do this here, but they just don't feel as well done. So as we continue through this little bit of gameplay, I've just picked myself up a pish. I completely ran out of ammunition in the other submachine gun, and I continue to kill some more. And once I've killed them, I activate my plane, and we do a little bomber action. Now, the thing to memorize with these kill streaks is just, once again, they feel very disconnected. You fly in on this very strung up timeline, down into the action, you destroy a few targets, and you fly away. In my opinion, it could be better, but at the same time, I'm glad they don't have another helicopter kill streak that just flies around taking people out left, right, and center. Now, talking about taking people out left, right, and center, that is all these maps tend to offer. They offer you to go left right, or down the center. They've not got too much elevation, and there's not too many sneaky passages to get around. Each map offers a very understandable respawn system. For instance, I can predict very easily where the enemy are going to respawn, and I can even wait at my own spawn for when the spawn switches and catch people off ground. I'm doing this exactly here now. I've flanked over to this side, and I'm just waiting for the spawn to actually switch around so the enemy spawn where I'm standing, and I can take them out. Now, it was pretty easy to predict, and if it's this easy to predict for someone who doesn't play that much Call of Duty, then the people that really know what they're going to do are going to be all over these places taking people out. There we go, another quick kill, and we've got ourselves the Molotov cocktail, one of my favourite kill streaks. It's a bit weird that the Molotov cocktail is a kill streak, to be honest. You think you could just have this on your character, but you throw it, and when people burn alive, there's something about that is just really brutal. I mean, it's just disorientating and horrible. But this is a little bit of the machine gun gameplay. Now, most of the machine guns are absolutely useless. The rate of fire is too slow. You can't compete with the SMGs and some of the other equipment that's actually available to you in the game. But this MG, I can't remember what it was, basically had the rate of fire to compete, and I could continue mowing down opponents with that extended magazine. Obviously, the problem with it, it felt heavy, and it was difficult to aim down the sights fast, but it kind of gave me that feeling that I was carrying around a heavy machine gun. So skipping to this next clip, I've also called in another bomber strike. So you can see how hard it is to twist that plane to the left and right side, so you kind of really got to guide it in before you launch the attack. But that was my overall impression of the Call of Duty beta. I liked elements of it, but I always like elements of the Call of Duty games. Will I end up getting it? Not for the price that they're offering it at the moment. Especially when it comes to DLC and stuff, you're going to be spending a lot of money on a game that offers very repetitive action. But you probably expected this review. Anyway, let's thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.